Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Happy October 28th. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day so far. Hope everyone is doing good. So we got ourselves a heck of an update here, a bit of a buff update with you guys regarding the severe weather threat on Wednesday. We do got some more information available to us. Hold on one second, I gotta pull up my stream thingy. My stream deck thing has to... Here, let's just, first of all, do this. But what's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. I just got to make sure they're all good. I just have to click on them to update them, make sure everything's good. Okay, we're good now. There's just a weird glitch or something that that does that. But anyways, so we do got ourselves a bit more information about the severe weather event here. They did expand it quite a bit, as you can see on the map here. And we're also going to look at the models, like regarding the changes that have been made. We do have the mid-range NAM well into view at this point. This time tomorrow, we should actually have the HRRR available, which will be the short-range model, or be a short-range model, which will definitely kind of help us more with timing and stuff like that. But anyways, everybody, well, let's just go ahead and get on into it. So as of right now, we do have ourselves a, like I said, it's a big old slight risk, a level 2 out of 5 severe weather threats. It's a pretty good size threat too. I mean, this does cover a lot of area. This includes portions like northeastern Texas, just kind of north of Dallas, but a lot of central and eastern Oklahoma, western Arkansas, portions out there towards like kind of central and western Missouri in that level 2. But the level 1 threat expands out even in towards like Illinois and even up to Wisconsin. According to the Storm Prediction Center, there could even be a couple of severe storms out there. So the way we got to look at this right now is just two different threats. I mean, even the dark green, which is the lowest threat, which is about a 5% chance of seeing severe weather within 25 miles of your area. So just imagine a 25-mile radius around your area. There's a 5% chance of severe weather happening somewhere in that radius. But that upgrades to a 15% chance here across the yellow. Now that still kind of seems like a low end, still kind of sounds like it's low end. But what you got to think here is that one, there could be some room for upgrades. We cannot confirm or deny that right now. I mean, we don't have any information saying that there is upgrades. Last time I checked, anyways. So right now it's slight. I don't know what the SPC is going to do, if they're going to pull enhanced or not. But remember, that's there could be some room for upgrades here, as well as the overall area that we're covering. I mean, this is a pretty good chunk of the states here. I mean, it's a pretty big old slight risk that we have to look out there for. But anyway, so let's go ahead and I can go ahead and pull up the probability, not of the individual breakdown as of right now, but I can show you guys the overall probability like we were talking about here. So how the Yellow here is indicating that 15% chance of severe weather, and the brown showing a 5% chance out there. So let's go and give a warm welcome to the people joining here. Like I said, I never did do a welcome to you guys today. What's up, Peachy? What's up, Isaac, Ohio, Meow Mix? We have Austin. We have Johns, Emmanuel, Legacy. Let's see here. We also got Within. We have Jacob, Kara, Christian, Haley, Sanja, maybe. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with names. SPC, Roby. Let's see here. Making sure I got everybody. Braven, Ian. What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing good. What's up, Cam? But yeah, so, like I mentioned, we're just going to have to really be watching this here for the next couple of days. Now, tomorrow we will have a better understanding of, like, the breakdown of, like, what percentage for tornadoes, what percent for damaging winds and hail. We will learn that tomorrow. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to hop over to models. We got some things to talk about here. And like I said, this setup here is a bit concerning, a little bit concerning to me here, because of the ingredients that are in place with this event. So first of all, here is the instability. Like I said, this is basically just the fuel in the atmosphere for these storms. You want this value typically over 1,000. I mean, severe weather can happen under 1,000 joules, but just, regularly speaking for severe weather events, you typically do want at least 1,000 or so. But according to NAM here, there's no shy of 1,000 joules. So that's a lot of instability. That is a lot of instability out here. So we do have, like I said, Texas included with a lot of that pool of instability. We do got Oklahoma up there towards like Kansas. We hop over to the Midwest here. Some of that instability even stretching up into areas towards like Wisconsin. So like SPC did mention, there could even be the threat for maybe a bit of severe weather up in Wisconsin here. It's a pretty low probability overall, but it certainly is a possibility. So we very well could see maybe some storms developing here for late the 30th here. You guys can see the time up in the top right there, by the way. But we actually really could see the possibility of maybe some severe storms. That's the importance of these mid and these short range models, is because they can pick up on the micro scale, the small picture, a lot better than these long range models like the GFS, because they're more macro, more of the big picture than the small picture. So that's why this is really, really important here. Like I said, because overall, I mean, it's why it's very, very important. Just to keep an eye on it. Let's see here. What's up, Scott? We're doing good, man. Welcome. Let's see here. No hate, man, but I really do think saying violent tornadoes on my last video is stretch. You really think so? Here, let me show you something. I gotta show you this. So if you watch the video all the way through, you would actually imagine or see what we talked about here. So first of all, we are seeing over 1,000 joules per kilogram of instability. The lower level jet in this representation is showing easily 50 knots in some spots, which, if you have a ripping jet of 50 knots, lower level, on top of that, those photographs, I mean, we were looking at there. We'll go ahead and pull those up. But I'm glad for your feedback, and I really do appreciate it. But I really do believe that this is going to be a big tornado threat where, violent tornadoes cannot be ruled out. I mean, the aggressive shift in that veering wind shear profile there, along with the photographs. I mean, this could definitely cause some heavy tornadic activity, unfortunately. And like I mentioned as well, if we take a look at that SRH value, I mean, according to like the NAM in the last several model runs, if this does play out, we're over 400. I mean, that's 0 to 3 kilometers is generally the range for inflow layer, but yeah, I mean, like I said, the kinematics support it. I mean, it's all there. The strong mid-level jet there as well is very much supportive. So strong mid-level, strong lower-level jet, in association with a good amount of instability. I mean, obviously a little bit. That last frame we were looking at, this was going into the early or late 30th into the early 31st, but the evening of the 30th is going to be kind of the the heaviest of it overall. I do think that is a good possibility, though. I'm not going to be I'm not going to lie, because like I said, anytime you really see a strong jet like that associated with, still a good amount of instability, that could definitely create the environment for some really strong tornadic activity. Especially from these countless soundings we've been pulling here, high, just, strong veering and that backing there could really be supportive. So, do I think there could easily be put out 10% hatch risk? I would not be surprised, to be honest with you. To be honest, obviously I can't tell you that. I don't work for SPC. I can't tell you for sure that there will be a 10% hatch risk. But the way that if this continues, I think it would be a possibility. Absolutely. But yeah. See, I'd say strong tornadoes really. The dry air intrusion makes question the tornado threat a bit. The kinematics will overcome that. But you do, man. No harsh feelings. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I really appreciate your feedback and stuff like that. Obviously, we'll see how this goes. The bottom line is that we're just trying to get, help people out and just help get that word out there regardless, just to, let people know that regardless, there will be that, strong tornadic activity concern. But there's nothing bad out of that. That's just to get the information out, just to help you guys out. That is literally all what this channel has been about, and all what it will remain to be. Is just to keep you guys, obviously aware of the situation, and keep you guys, weather prepared. That is the main thing here. Let's see here. What's up, Tabletop? Any chance for severe? Nope. Tabletop, you're good, man. You're good up in North Carolina. There's nothing going on out there. Let's see here. Can we have a rules command? Do exclamation point rules. I think that might. Or is that something that I did not set up in Nightbot? I literally haven't messed with Nightbot in forever, to be honest with you. I think the risk for Wednesday has probably uptrended. We'll see. I mean, like I said, the models, it seems like, since we started getting that mid-range guidance there, that, instability has been upticked quite a bit. Like I said, we'll definitely need to see it. Honestly, from the way it looks like that best mixing ratio between your kinematics and your thermodynamics seems to be out there towards like eastern Kansas, possibly like western Missouri even. We could see some of the stronger activity out there. We're going to really watch, like I said, and whenever the like I said, the short-range models like HRRR and stuff like that come into play. I really do think that, which you can kind of see, we're getting there, but not quite. We'll be able to tell a much better idea here. Yeah, because the main threat's going to be here towards like late the 30th, fairly late, kind of in the late afternoon, in the evening there. So we'll definitely need to, just continue monitoring that, continue watching that, because like I mentioned, that we're not quite into the realm here of pure viewing for the HRRR quite yet. But yeah, definitely by tomorrow morning, by the next update we should do, which I'll probably do an update for you guys here sometime tomorrow afternoon. We'll definitely do one in the evening, of course, in which we definitely should be able to have that. But yeah, even HRRR from what we got available to us now, 18, is for 18 Zulu on the 30th here, which is about basically afternoon here. You can see that some of that instability does even get its way up in towards like Wisconsin, and like I mentioned, SPC they even mentioned that possibility there with how we do have a 5% or 5% chance of overall severe weather probability. So we'll definitely just watch that, and once again, the biggest concern, you guys, is going to be up there towards like northeastern Texas, central and eastern Oklahoma, western Arkansas, central and western Missouri, central eastern Kansas, southeastern, so it's a little sliver up there in southeastern Nebraska, and like southern Iowa. We do get that 15% chance overall for severe weather. Which, once again, doesn't sound like a high probability, but whenever you add all that up, considering the fact that we have a pretty good amount of area here, this very well could, lead to multiple, severe weather scenarios, whether it being tornadoes, damaging winds, or hail. They are all going to likely be a good possibility here. But anyways, what's up, Lake Effect? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, there's no. Okay, I'll try to remember to set up the rules. I'll add it to my list of things to do. Whenever a new person joins and chats, it should automatically come up with a rules thing, but I do need to kind of interpret that. So somebody could remind me maybe later on. I'll add it to my list of things I need to need to do here. But anyways, but yeah. So let's go ahead and bring up our. I think our NAM 3K might actually be available here, which, NAM 3K always takes the linear route, it seems. But I really do believe that this event here is going to be like in the terms or in the realms of, a linear system here, which we're going to work our way down in time, in which, you can actually see, oh, there we go. Yeah, there's that long squall. Look at that. So this is for the morning of the 31st. You guys can see the time up in the top right there. Remember, take this timing with a grain of salt because, we're still, about a little more than a day away, almost 2 days away from the event, really kicking off here, in which, the timing can still be, different by then. I mean, the best time to, kind of, I would, morally trust the timing of the event would be like the day of the event, because we can have a little bit more of a better viewing of the things, see actually how these ingredients are in place in the atmosphere versus what the models were, suggesting. But anyways, yeah, quite a long squall is expected. Now the problem is obviously the timing here. I mean, we mentioned that this is going to be happening in kind of the late, the late portion of the day, the afternoon and the evening. You can see 9 p.m. here. The problem is like I mentioned, this is a QLCS, and since we have such a strong lower level jet, in other components as well, like moisture and just overall instability and stuff. This event here, once again, it's going to be a long line of storms more than likely, but. The thing is about this is not only the fact that it's nighttime and it would be very, very difficult to see anything, but also if we did get, where we potentially could get those tornadoes, they could be embedded, meaning that they just could be, deep inside of that squall line into that heavy precipitation, which would make it, once again, impossible to see. Even if it was daytime, that would still be a problem, with those. Squall line setups there. So that's kind of the issue here, is the fact that not only is it happening at nighttime, but it's also going to be potentially rain wrapped, meaning the fact that those tornadoes that are embedded in that squall line, that long line of storms, could be wrapped with curtains of rain, which that would just make it a lot harder to be able to see here overall. So let's see here. Fielmar says, I'm in central Oklahoma. I've been hearing that I'm in the highest chance for the storm. Yeah, so as of right now, Oklahoma does have the, where you're at, like central Oklahoma, does have the highest, threat as of right now. Once again, I would not be surprised if we, had room for upgrades. I mean, considering how big the slight risk is and, the trends with the models and how things have been kind of popping up here, would not be surprised. Obviously, I don't work for SBC. I can't tell you if they're going to do it or not, which... I don't really know for sure, but, we'll see it. I mean, regardless, the overall picture is that we're expecting a good amount of severe weather. But yeah, central Oklahoma would be in the one of the heavier zones out of this event here. Let's see here. I just jumped on. Is Texas in the path? Yeah, so Texas does have a bit of a concern here. Here, let's hop on back over here to the SPC's outlook here. So we have 2 threat levels as of now. Like I mentioned, the scale goes from 1 to 5. The higher number, the worst. But regardless of what level you're in, it's still a threat for severe weather, and there still is a concern. So the level 1, that marginal risk, the level 1 does go down into like central Texas, out there, towards just slightly north of San Antonio. Out there more towards like Waco, Dallas included. But then we quickly turn into a level 2 threat, so a higher risk of probability. So not only potentially stronger storms, but a better probability of seeing them. In which that would be, up there towards like Wichita Falls, Texas, Paris, Texas, Gainesville, some of those northern portions. up on northeastern Texas there, but that's a level 2. Then, of course, you can see that level 2 going through central eastern Oklahoma, like western Arkansas, central western Missouri, central eastern Kansas, southeastern Nebraska, and like southwestern portions here of Iowa. And then, like I said, that level 1 threat, even goes up there towards like Illinois, out there towards like Arkansas and there as well. So, regardless, like we mentioned, if you're the brown or yellow here, it's still a threat. It is still a severe weather threat, and there still is potential for severe storms out there. Let's see here. Lisa says, thank you. That's close to me in Dallas. Yeah, no problem. Dallas is, like I said, right on the line between the level 1 and level 2 threat. As of now, there still is a threat for severe weather. So we'll definitely need to, just keep an eye on it. Definitely need to keep an eye on it for sure. Try not to let it worry you. Yeah, because more than likely the worst of it's going to be to your north as of right now. Lisa, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate that. That's very, very sweet of you, saying thank you for all you do. You're very welcome. And like I said, I'm going to continue to be here to help you guys out as much as I possibly can. We got it. We're coming up. We're coming up closer to the event here. I mean, we've been forecasting this for a couple days now. We've been seeing some pretty heavy uptrends in the models and everything like that. But Lisa, thank you seriously for that. That's greatly appreciated. And you're very, very welcome. Seriously, thank you for that. That definitely helps me out a lot. We're gonna hop back up to models here again, y'all. We're going to definitely look at that again. So, like I mentioned, we don't really quite have the HRRR fully in render yet. But we do got NAM available to us, in which, we're taking a look here. As we approach our way into Wednesday, on a matter of fact, the way that NAM is talking, you can see this is kind of for like the afternoon, the early afternoon of Wednesday here. Late morning. And, there's already a broken cap in some spots. So maybe there could be some early storm activity. It just depends on other factors like lift and stuff. We can achieve that. Doesn't seem like there's any really big cap there. We in theory, we could have maybe a couple of storms to develop maybe earlier. I mean, we'll have to see. But the main event's going to be, right there towards like the evening. And you can see here for 0 Zulu on the 31st, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time, which would be 7 Central for you folks out here. So you can see Kansas City, up right here for a little bit of a point reference. Here's like Central Iowa. You guys can see. You should know where you're looking at on the map here. But still pretty good amount of instability up there towards like Eastern Kansas. I mean, even leading towards like Kansas City, good amount of instability. Even knowing, like I said, this is in the lower realm of things, this is pretty common for this time of the year. Having lower instability, like under 1,000, is very common for these setups. But the main thing that I'm concerned about is just, like I said, how strong that lower level jet is. We have nearly 1,000 joules per kilogram of instability. Plus, like I said, that jet, that lower level jet is like 50, maybe upwards of 55 knots, which, that's considered pretty strong lower level jet, which that could be a very critical component for tornadic development here, and of course our helicity values here right around between like almost around 300 for the most part, upper 290s up in the 300 realm, consider pretty high, and which that definitely could be a another thing we need to look at for like tornadic development. That rotating updraft potential, stuff like that. Let's see here. You're welcome. Fun to watch your channel grow. I appreciate that once again, Lisa. Thank you for your support. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Brendan, so HRRR is definitely a really good tool to use. Obviously it's never approximate. No matter what model you look at, they're never perfect. But, HRRR is a really good model to look at because, instead of these models, especially like the long range like GFS and Euro, those look at the big picture. And NAM kind of is like the middle ground, is somewhat accurate to the lower scale. But yeah, it's not really until you get like to the HRRR where like you can really focus on an area, higher resolution and and stuff like that, which is definitely really really useful, and which we'll have that available to us tomorrow with thankfully, so that'll be good. Let's see here. What's up, Jacob? Hope you're doing good, man. What do I think the worst tornadoes will be if there are some? So the way that things are going, and like the trends, from what we were seeing, from yesterday to today, and the way the models have been, talking about and stuff like that, I would really believe that some of that strongest activity. I mean, first of all, we'll just kind of roughly circle or outline where that instability is at, and then we'll overlay that lower level jet there, and you can really see that where we have that best ratio of instability to wind shear. That kind of leads us up there towards like eastern Kansas, maybe like northwestern Missouri. That's probably where we could see some of the heaviest activity in my eyes. I mean, of course, looking at like the some of those other parameters, like dew point, moisture supply. I mean, we're good. We're really set here. I mean, we have all that Gulf moisture advection. We have all of that moisture-filled air, and that all that water vapor just getting pumped its way into the country here, in which moisture is not going to be an issue at all. So there's going to be pretty good amounts of precipitation with this line as well potentially. Let's see here. Can't wait for tomorrow so we can see more of the details. Yeah, tomorrow will definitely be a much better viewing thing, because we'll have like the HRRR available to us, which will certainly be very, very helpful in determining that. But I mean, yeah, you can really see that cold front push through all that moisture. Obviously we've been very, very dry down here in like the Midwest and stuff for a while, in which we're finally getting a shot of moisture, only for it to be gone again here. As more high pressure builds in from the backside, which will, of course, bring down that cooler air again and the drier air again, after the event here. Now, the way that it's going, I mean, like I mentioned, for trick-or-treating day, Halloween, whenever we come to it, there's still going to be that push, so there is still going to be a source of lift available down in like the southeast, like the western side of the southeast, more towards like Mississippi and stuff like that. Who knows? As of right now, there's no risk from the SPC. However, if we look at it, there's still going to be some traces of instability left, even for Halloween. In which you guys can see the time up there. This is for like the right around the point where you'd be trick-or-treating at. There still is some. Basically, there still is some available instability left. And matter of fact, moisture is even more rich due to the fact that it's closer to the Gulf here. We take a look at those dew points. I mean, look, we're talking upwards of nearly 70 degrees Fahrenheit dew points. That's pretty high. So really rich moisture content for Halloween. So who knows? We could get maybe some continuation of strong to maybe low end severe thunderstorm activity, up there towards like Mississippi. The only problem is kinematics. Our wind shear is basically broken at that point. So whatever storm we did get would likely be brief and weak. Therefore, the overall threat for Halloween would be pretty low, definitely marginally low. And of course, the day before, which is the 30th, that's the big day. That's where kinematics and the thermodynamics really come into contact with each other. And like I said, that just so happens to be out there, towards like Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma. Those areas could be definitely at risk for severe weather coming up. Haley, it's unknown if there's going to be a enhanced or not. Obviously we cannot tell for sure. But like I said, would it really surprise me if the NAM keeps holding up, and once we start getting more model support like HRRR and stuff like that, and if it's pretty close, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if somewhere we got an upgrade. We'll have to see though. Let's see. How does St. Louis area do with the thunderstorms on Wednesday through Thursday? So I think that St. Louis, once we get to that, I actually have a friend here. It seems like that line really breaks up according to NAM. We can only take this with a grain of salt due to the fact that the models are not. This model in particular is not the best on the small picture, but as a potential possibility, as a representation from the NAM model, it does show maybe traces of instability left over. I really don't believe there's going to be that big of a severe threat for you guys. As big of a severe threat, I should say. I believe you guys are actually already in the marginal, which makes sense. But I really don't believe we're going to get anything like super crazy. I think a lot of the worst of it's going to be more towards like western Missouri, and like eastern Kansas and stuff like that. But St. Louis, it could be pretty weak by the time it does get to you. But once again, timing, and I really want to wait till we get like the NAM, that short, or sorry, the HRRR, and get some of that short range model data in. That'd make things a lot better, a lot more better to see. Did I check the 18 Zulu HRRR run? I did. Let's see here. In which it's not fully quite there yet, but we're getting there. In which we'll actually look at the precipitation here. I don't think we looked at precip on it though. Maybe we did. Yeah. That line kind of forming. Once again, timing's a little rough right now. Time is just a little bit rough, but we're still not too sure on the exact timing. But sometime between the late afternoon and the evening is likely when these storms are gonna really fire off here along a line. We're going to hop you guys back over here for a minute. So like I mentioned, the problem is, I'll mention it again, for the new viewers joining and stuff. The problem here is the fact that this event's going to be happening at nighttime, for one. The problem with that is, you guessed it. I mean, it's hard to see anything happening. So do not wait to see, or hear severe weather if you're in a warning here for Wednesday. That's... Just want to give you a little bit of a heads up. So you can't. It's going to be hard to see the storms. Now here's another problem. With that tornado threat that we actively are going to have, the problem is that those tornadoes are going to be embedded, meaning that that tornadic activity is going to be inside of the squall line. Inside of the long line of storms. So, for example, say we had a tornado right here. That would be covered in curtains of rain, which would really make this thing quite impossible to see. Not really. Only would it be, not only would it basically be impossible to see it because of its nighttime, but also because it's going to be covered in these sheets of rain. So that's what I'm saying. Do not wait to see or hear the tornado, before you seek shelter. That's once again, if there's warnings, which there, I hate to say it, but there will likely be when it comes to the 30th here. Let's see here. My MSLP calculation. Oh man, you had to go all the way back out there. Dang, dude. Let's see here. How about Branson, Missouri, looking on Wednesday? It's under Springfield. Gotcha. So Branson, you're actually in a level 2 threat. We'll get into the personal zip code here pretty soon, but Branson, this will be in an area for potential severe weather activity, which late the 30th would be the time. We'll just look for Brownwood, Texas. Okay, so we'll get into the zip codes here in a few minutes. I just want to go ahead and go over this, one more time, and then we'll dive into that, y'all. But I'll do yours real quickly for Brownwood. Where is Brownwood? Speaking of, Brownwood, Texas. Okay, so you're in a level 1 threat right now. Pretty low and severe. The good news is that while we will have a good supply of instability here, the kinematics or the wind shear will be a lot weaker than compared to areas up to the north. So therefore, it would not be as severe. Therefore, you're in a level 1 threat. Now remember, it's still a level 1 threat. It's still a threat for severe weather overall. But anyways, everybody, so we're going to go ahead and hop on back over here, back to the models. Once again, this is something that we've been, tracking for the last little bit, the last couple days here. And, the way that things are going here, we're going to start off with, like, the fuel, the instability and stuff like that. Really there's 3 main things we look at when, like, forecasting, severe weather, in which, one of those is lift, to get that warm air off the ground. 2 is moisture. 3 is instability. Actually, 4, wind shear. Those are all very, very important, things to look at when you're forecasting severe weather and including tornadoes. And And so this is the instability. Think of this as the fuel for the storms here. We're talking values over 1,000, which that's good enough, good enough to get some things going here. In which you can see that as we approach our way for the afternoon evening here. For the 30th, I know this is the 31st, but this is Zulu, which is ahead of time. But yeah, this is once again, this is a pretty good amount of instability, throughout Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, portions out there towards Missouri. And if we pan up to the north a little bit, even traces of that instability works its way towards like Iowa, even Wisconsin. And a matter of fact, like I said, the Storm Prediction Center actually issued a risk overall for Wisconsin even. For Wisconsin even. So that is that. Now, we take a look at the the lower level jet. So this is basically our lower level winds, roughly about 5,000 feet off the ground. So, we're not super, super high up in the area. It's not like, upper level winds. This is like lower level winds. Very, very important ingredient for, tornadic activity. Anytime you really see a jet stream of about 30 knots or greater, you can, if all other conditions are met, 30 knots or greater is, pretty good range to be for tornadic activity. But the thing here, if we overlay that instability we were talking about again, you see that, this area up there towards like western Missouri, eastern Kansas has a pretty good amount of instability. We look back at those lower level winds and you notice there's a huge jet, of around, 50, upwards of 55 knots. Which is more than that 30 knots we're talking about. That's considered a very strong lower level jet. So mixing that instability with that lower level shear of that magnitude, could be a big concern. And obviously could be tornadic and will likely be tornadic. We look at the the 0 to 3 kilometer helicity, and out there in those regions, those values are up in the 300 range, which that's once again pretty darn strong. We're going to grab a sounding here to look at that veering in the hodograph there. So first of all, if you look over at the hodograph, don't pay attention to any of this gibberish. I know a lot of you guys probably won't understand. It looks pretty confusing. It's not too bad. Now, this up here is the hodograph. This is, just showing us that the winds are going north at ground level and shifting to the northeast as we go up in altitude and increasing in wind speed. These are indicating, wind speeds. This is basically just a big compass, northeast, northwest, southwest, south, east, north, whatever. In which you can actually see, we start surface going to the north, northerly winds, which if we look at the column here, this is actually a better way of looking at this. We'll go ahead and zoom in just a tad for you guys. And if I look at the bottom of this column, so this right here, this is 3 kilometers up. So, not super, super high. And this is ground level, so this is where basically, the ground is. So the thing is here at the ground level, those winds are moving pretty much directly north. You guys can see, that little bar up there pointing north. So the winds are coming from the south, in this case from like the Gulf and bringing up all that moisture. So coming from the south and going to the north, and all of that pulls to the north here. And as we go up in altitude, you notice that the wind direction changes to the northeast. So it's that sudden change in wind direction and an increase in wind speed that creates that rotation that can create those vortices there, in which it just takes a thunderstorm to basically push that horizontal vortice vertical and to create tornadic activity. But yeah, so obviously we have that strong veering winds. So not only are the winds changing directions with altitude at a relatively quick pace, but it's also increasing in wind shear as well. So the wind speeds are increasing as we go up as well. So that's that's part of the science behind it, and that's what makes this event seem a little bit concerning. And obviously the hodograph there, that curvature that we have going on there, between all that, it seems pretty strong. I mean, storm tops, not super super high, but a good 10 kilometers or so. Pretty good size storms, I'd say. Dew point surface level 63 Fahrenheit. That's pretty good moisture. That's going to supply these storms with a lot of water vapor and therefore able to precipitate. So that is what we're going to be looking out there for overall. But Anyways. But yeah, so that's, just wanted to pull up a little sound in there with y'all just to kind of show you guys that. But yeah, you can kind of see, where these ingredients are coming together. That sounding, by the way, was in like western Missouri that we're looking at there. That's kind of where I believe some of the heaviest is going to be, is probably eastern Kansas, like western Missouri. Might be some of the heaviest activity out there. But, that's what I was showing you guys. It's just kind of concerning, whenever you look at it from that perspective, considering all of that instability. It's not an astronomical amount, but, for this time of the year, it's doable. Absolutely. Over 1,000 in some spots, we're obviously well over 500. So that's good, for severe weather, for this time of the year. But, that wind shear kind of makes up for it, in terms of being such strong that it will, allow for potentially some stronger storms. As well, keeping those storms organized, nice and moving and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to pull up there. We're getting ready to do zip codes, you guys. But yeah, you can see all that northerly air advection that we have. We're gonna backtrack to the U.S. view, in which you can see here, as we slowly play in motion, you can see all of that moisture gets shot up to the north here. That's all that air advection that comes up. We have all of that moisture just getting launched its way into the country. Things are going to start to, warm up quite a bit for one, but also, the moisture will increase. And on top of that, we'll actually have, the cooler air come down here from the north and go to the southeast here, which will obviously, be another contributing factor to the storm initiation. That cold air mixing with that warm and moisture-filled air, is creating a lot of instability and stuff like that. So that's kind of the big picture, of things here, which is, pretty cool how it all works together. But unfortunately, it's just kind of a concern. Over the overall event, it seems a little bit concerning, but. All right, everybody, we're going to dive into zip codes now. So all we're going to simply do with our zip code forecast is I'm just going to let you guys know if you're in the risk for severe weather. This is my way of helping you guys out personally. Now, I can tell you this, I probably won't be able to reach everybody because there's, a lot of people that's going to be wanting their zip code and stuff like that. But I'll try my best to get to everybody I can, in which, like I said, I'll just let you know if you're in the risk and what level you're in, for severe weather overall. And, we're just know we're here to help you. We're here to help you guys stay weather aware and stuff like that. So, alrighty, FaZe. We're going to get into yours first here, which we're going to pull this up. This is for Indiana. Now, Indiana's not in the risk as of now. More than likely, that risk is going to remain to your west. Instability seems to really thin out by the time we get to your region. Peachy, nothing going on in Alaska, or at least severe weather related. William, got you next here. Let's take a look at that. So this is for Missouri. Yep. So you, my friend, you're right on the boundary between that level 1 and level 2 threat. You're in the marginal, which is a threat for severe weather. At least a 5% chance for severe weather as of right now. In which, it seems like maybe late the 30th into maybe the early 31st would be right around when you get that line. Once again, timing's a little iffy right now, but it'd be late by the time you did get it. So just keep it out there. But yeah, you're in a level 1 threat. Let's see here. Peachy. Let's go ahead and pull this up here. That's not an area. Felmar, let's see. Go ahead and pull this up. 63130. Oklahoma. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, you, my friend, you're at OKC. So your area definitely is in pretty good risk for severe weather out there. We'll definitely keep you guys posted up here. Once again, we're going to do live coverage to cover this whenever the event does happen. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted. But yeah, once again, we do have that slight risk out there. Let's see, which that is that level 2 threat there overall. EM wants me to take a look here at, let's see here, the zip code. Let me go ahead and copy that. We'll go ahead and put it in here. So you're in Texas. So we do have ourselves a marginal risk up there towards northeastern Texas. So where you're at, there still is a threat for maybe an isolated severe thunderstorm or two. So it is possible. That is a possibility. So keep an eye on it. As the atmosphere could produce some storms nearby and potentially severe storms. Now the big threat's going to be mostly to your north from what it looks like as of now. Let's see here. Sewing wants me to look the triple point. Gotcha. Let's pull up that where this area is. So you're up in Oklahoma. Okay, so no, that low's going to be to your north, well to your north. So you know you're not on the triple point. Let's see your lake effects. What's it going to be like for Halloween? Let me pull up this at least. New York. Okay, so this area is not going to be involved for severe weather. Of course, you know, that's kind of what we're looking at. But the way it looks, let's see here. Honestly, it looks like we might have a little bit of rain late the 31st coming through. So you might get a little bit of rain. Raven, let's see here. But we're going to try to focus on the severe weather, y'all. So taking a look here, Illinois. So Raven, you, my friend, are in a level 1 threat. So Western Illinois is included in that severe weather threat. So there is going to be the possibility for, you know, a couple of severe thunderstorms. The way that it's going here, you know, damaging winds does seem like a possibility. We'll have to see about tornadic activity, you know, but I think probably damaging winds will be your main problem out there. Let's see here. Sage says, I'm in California, but all my family lives in Tennessee, Georgia, Kentucky, and Florida area. Oh, the good news is that a lot of those areas are not going to be affected by the event here, so that's good. Let's see here, Mike, I got you. 65340. Gotcha. Let's see here, Missouri. Okay, so yeah, you're in a level 2 threat. You're kind of in the big threat for Wednesday here. So definitely you want to watch it. You know, once again, the event's going to be happening late here, sometime in the evening. So it's going to be like nearly impossible to see what's going on. But yeah, you do have a slight risk out there, so keep an eye out there for it. Once again, you know, tornadic activity and you know, tornadic you know, wind damage potential and stuff like that will be there. But you know, once again, to hopefully help calm you down a little bit, you know, the odds of you getting specifically a tornado is very low. You know, considering how thin of you know, tornado tracks really are in comparison to the risk area. The odds of you getting tornadic activities, you know, overall, you seeing a tornado is pretty low, but, you know, we still have to remember that the environment is capable of producing tornadoes nearby and, you know, near your area. So keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Raven, we already did yours. You don't need to post it again. Let's see here. Xavier wants me to take a look here. This one. All right, got you, man. Let's go and pull this up. So Texas. So wow, you're right on the edge of the marginal. So honestly, if you do get anything, it's going to be fairly weak overall. Once again, the wind shear down here is much weaker than it is going to be up here. So a lot of the activity is going to be to your north. If you get anything, it's going to be fairly weak on the overall. So let's see. Can we see an enhanced risk? Potentially, Marcus. You know, obviously I can't tell you that for sure, but we'll definitely watch it. You know, there's no way of me telling you yes or no, but, you know, we'll have to see. Dylan, let's see here. 67217. Got you, man. Let's go and pull it up. Kansas. So, yeah, so Wichita, Kansas is in, you know, some of the heavy activity. This is actually the region where we do have, you know, a good amount of instability as well as that lower level wind shear. And just kinematics in general. So, you know, Wichita, you're definitely going to want to watch out there for it overall. Sewing, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the $1 super chat. Very, very sweet of you. Thank you so much. But, yeah, so Dylan, definitely keep an eye out there for it as, you know, you're going to be in one of those areas that I think we really need to look out for. Let's see here. What about tornado potential? It says BP. We'll go and pull that up for you. To Missouri. Okay, so yeah, you're in a level 2 threat, so you're in the greater threat of the 2 levels here. You know, remember, the event's going to happen pretty late here. Once again, timing-wise, we really cannot be for sure, but it would be sometime probably late 30th, if not extremely early to 31st. You know, probably near midnight or so. I mean, once again, take that with a grain of salt because, you know, the models are, you know, not quite as accurate with timing, you know, this far out here, considering we're still, you know, about roughly a little bit less than 2 days away or so. So, you know, this time, 2 days from now, the storm will be going on. So, about 2 days or so, I should say. Let's see here. The 45 hours very bad on the new HRRR. Used to look on the pivotal weather. Well, there's more pages that render HRRR than just pivotal. So I can pull it up over here as well. Ooh, buddy, it does look a little aggressive though. Here, let's go and bring that up real quickly. Wow, look at that, y'all. Okay, so according to the HRRR. That's what I was saying, when I was mentioning to you guys, I think that eastern Kansas, if not like western Missouri, is probably going to get some of the heaviest. And it looks like in some embedded supercells we'll be firing out there in eastern Kansas. Instability here is, still over 1,000 joules. That's pretty concerning. That is actually pretty concerning. Here, let's pull up surface. Here we go. And dew points. Yeah, you know what? HRRR actually shows a higher moisture content out here as well than some of the mid-range. Ugh, yeah, we'll definitely need to see that. But it does look like a line with embedded supercells in it. Could be a possibility. Wow, dude, that is. Yeah, I don't really like that. It's a little concerning. You're welcome, Dylan. No problem. Let's see here. What's up, Robert? Saying hello, everyone. Hello, fine sir. Hope you're doing well. Keep your ears and eyes on the platform for accurate weather knowledge from the best guy. I appreciate that. How is Springfield, Missouri? Any new news? So Springfield, actually, we were just looking at an area right next to where you're at. So what we were talking about, is that your Springfield's in that level 2 threat, which is the greatest threat as of now. Should you monitor it? Absolutely. Definitely keep an eye out there for it. All hazards cannot be ruled out. Like I was mentioning, though, while this area does seem concerning for tornadic activity, to hopefully ease you guys down a little bit, once again, the odds of you specifically getting a tornado is extremely low. Once again, it's like a very thin little needle line compared to, like, the overall risk area. But, of course, there is, conditions available for tornadic activity nearby. So definitely, keep an eye on it. Don't brush it off. I'm not saying that, but, just try not to let it worry you too much. But yeah, there will be that threat. And once again, late the 30th into the early 31st is probably when that line's going to come through. Timing is still a little iffy. What's up, Court? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. King wants me to take a look here at the zip code. I got you, man. Let's go pull it up for you. Texas. Okay, so you're in a level 2 threat. You're actually there just north of Dallas. So you, my friend, you're actually in that level 2 threat overall. Now, here's the thing. So as the way that this event's playing out here is we're gonna use pink as instability, right? So basically our thunderstorm fuel. So in fact, there's a lot of fuel available in this event here. So, this area is roughly where a lot of that instability is at. And the blue is going to be representing like the wind shear. So a lot of the strongest wind shear is going to be up to the north. So you're down here. A lot of the heaviest activity is likely going to be up north due to the fact that that's where the best mixing of the instability, the fuel, and the wind shear is. So what that means for your area is that you're just going to be in mostly an unstable environment with not much wind shear, not as much, to produce as crazy of severe weather. So despite, you're still in that slight risk, I think the heaviest of it's still going to be to your north, but, there still is going to be that possibility for severe weather late here for the late 30th into the early 31st, potentially. So definitely look out for that. But anyways, no problem, BB. You're very, very, very welcome. Let's see here. QLC straight line. Yeah, so it will be a long line of storms at QLCS here, which Squall line mostly referred to as. Once again, we get that low pressure system well up to the north here. Got that big old low, which that's really rocking up a lot of moisture, a lot of warm air from the south, and bringing down that cooler and drier air from up north, and we have that interaction line, which is our cold front. So yeah, that's what's going to be going on with this event here. It's definitely quite a interesting setup here, and like I mentioned here, on the inner sides of the storm here, like I said, with that tornado threat that we're going to have here, you know, once again, not only is it going to be nighttime, but, you know, there's also going to be that embedded tornado concern, you know, overall there. So that's something we're going to need to look out for. Absolutely. Let's see here. Let's see here. I hope here in West Central Texas gets rain due to this. We really need it. West Central Texas, I mean, I think a lot of it's going to be east of you, unfortunately. Yeah, mostly to the east, but, you know, we'll have to see. Let's see here. Don't worry, I live for this, my buddy. I'll be chasing. You should look up. Oh, gotcha. Well, you know, be careful out there. Like I said, I really wouldn't advise chasing a nighttime squall line due to the fact that, you know, it's impossible to see any tornadic activity for one, but also the fact that it's pretty dangerous. But yeah. Let's see here. King, we already looked at your zip code, man. Yeah, we already went over yours if you were watching. But anyways, but yeah, so once again, everybody, we're just going to need to monitor this here for, you know, a bit more. And like I said, whenever the event does come, you know, nearby, we'll definitely be tracking it and stuff like that. Now, speaking of tracking, I do want to do a little bit of an update on the tropics for you guys. Doesn't seem like a whole lot has changed since yesterday when we did our tropical update here. So we do have this area in the Caribbean we're watching. It's an overall 40% chance of development. Odds are not, you know, super duper high, but yeah, we do have a 40% chance over here. We are watching that. So throughout the next 2 days, or the next 48 hours, we do have 0% chance here. So we're not expecting any development in the next 2 days here. And all that stuff. So we'll definitely watch it here. Let's hop back to models here. And we'll look at the tropics here. What's the latest GFS? Now take this with a grain of salt, you guys. Once again, the GFS is kind of nuts and all over the place. Oh, wow. That is a lot more mild compared to what it was showing the other day. Wow, dude. Pretty mild. That's good. What about Euro? Does Euro talk about it now? 12 Zulu Euro. Shows a broad low, but not anything crazy. CMC, on the other hand, CMC's been pretty active with... Oh, wow, that's new development. So, looking at the 0 Zulu, it actually showed that system going up to the northwest here. If you look at the latest run, it's kind of going over the Caribbean islands. Kind of what the GFS was showing here at one point. So definitely keep an eye on it. Sewing, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Coming in with the support today. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you, Sewing. Thank you. Peach says, Andrew, I somehow got stuck in the middle of the ocean. Am I okay? I don't know. Are you? I appreciate that, Sewing, though. Thank you so much. From my perspective, it looks like it's going to play out supercell mode, then start later, say towards the end. We'll see. Obviously, you know, if it gets embedded, some of that strength will be limited. As you know, that, you know, the worst of tornadic activity happens in those, like, individual supercells. Don't get me wrong, though. You know, QLCSs can still definitely produce some strong tornadic activity. You know, given the environment we have here, like I said, with that strong lower level jet with that system, and, you know, the high SRH and all of those fun ingredients seem a little iffy out there, especially towards like eastern Kansas and like western Missouri. Like I mentioned, you know, this is possible. You know, I'm not saying it will happen for sure. But, you know, I would not be surprised if there was some form of upgrade, maybe to an enhanced risk at some point, out there towards like western Missouri, eastern Kansas. You know, once again, don't quote me on that, because, you know, we're not sure we're not for sure quite yet, but, you know, we'll definitely keep an eye out there for it overall. Definitely will. Let's take a look back over here at the models. But yeah, if you look closely, we do have that. The overall picture here is we have that low developing in just up here and just really pushing down all that cooler and drier air, and it really pulling up all that moisture-filled air out there. It's pretty interesting. Just the big complexity of these storms here. It's just the big picture, and then you zoom into the small picture and stuff like that. It's, there's a lot to it. But alrighty, everybody. Well, we're probably gonna head off here soon. We've been live for about an hour, like our typical updates are. Tomorrow we'll go live again for you guys for another update on the severe weather and stuff like that. So tomorrow we'll have a better understanding of what to expect. Because of, like I mentioned, we'll be in the realm of short range model runs. Obviously, we're getting into that now, but tomorrow it'll be like full length, which would be nice. So we'll definitely do another update on that tomorrow. And once again, everybody, thank you for joining. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, leaving a like. It'll be much appreciated. And what like I said, thank you for the people who have supported us here tonight. Once again, big thank you goes to you guys, such as Lisa, such as Sewing. I really do appreciate you all for your support and everything like that. So, all right, everybody. Well, once again, if there's any questions that you guys might have before I roll off here, feel free to let me know. And like I said, we'll pick up on this tomorrow when we have a little bit more information and stuff like that. So, but yeah. Let's see. Rocka says good night. Oh, see you later, Rocka. Thanks for joining. Peachy saying bye, Andrew. Thanks for updating. No problem. Very, very welcome. But all right, everybody. Thanks for joining. Stream's gonna head off here in approximately 2 minutes. So if you guys have anything you want to go ahead and say to your friends, your family, anybody you're hanging out with in chat, go ahead and say your final goodbyes. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. You guys take care, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at some point. All right. See you later, y'all. Peace out.